Hey everyone, welcome back to Factorio. Today we're going to be doing the Tight Spot campaign. We've done this previously. We have done this in the last patch, but this new patch brings a lot of new recipes, so could change up how this campaign goes a little bit. Additionally, we only played on normal mode last time, so I'm hoping by playing this on hard mode, we can get a little bit of a different experience. If not, hey, we got an updated version. That's cool too. So let's get into it. We got hard mode, level 1. Let's go. Alright, so here we are. The object of the game is to get 3,000 money by 10 minutes. You have a limited field here. You can buy what you need in here with some money, but you're going to be using up that money and you'll need to make it back by the 10 minutes. We're going to be making only iron gear wheels, and you can sell those for 10 each. So as you can see, we're going to make a number of them, at least 300, but we're definitely going to be making more than that because we need to buy stuff to make them. So this is our current field. All the walls cost money to pick up. As you can see, that cost me 14. And the amount of money it cost, I believe, has to do with how close it is to the center of the map. For example, that was like 6. That's 38. So, as you can see, you'd rather build closer to the center rather than further away. So this is what we have to build. We have underground belts, we have belts. We can buy coal, we can buy engines, steam engines, and all this stuff. So the last time I did this, it was basically the same. I think we were playing on normal, and I think what changes between normal and hard is the required amount. I think that goes up in hard mode because you know it's harder to get more money during the allotted time. So we'll see if we can beat that. My strategy most of the time was to build what I needed on top of any excess ore areas, because as you can see, these are open and they don't technically cost money the way that building somewhere else here would do, as you can see. So let's get started. Last time I did this, if you're curious, you can go find the series on YouTube. But last time, I spent a lot of time thinking about how I would get this started, and I found that most of the time, I just needed to build the thing, and I could tweak from there and make things better from there. I spent a lot of time just thinking of how I would do it, and then I mean, it was worthwhile a lot of time, but it was also very time consuming, so let's not do that. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to get rid of all the walls. We can always put them back and we get the money back from them. So this is just clearing the playing field so we can see what we're looking for. So if I'm correct, the last time I did this, I made a steam engine over here for my power, and that's about it. We did the rest. We mined the iron, we smelted it, we turned it into a gear wheel, and then we input it into this chest. Forgot to say that. You input all of your things that you need to sell into this chest. Again, you can only sell what they demand, so that's the only money you can get. So we're gonna need some inserters. I guess some electric mining drills would be nice. We'll get 2 steam engines, 1 boiler, a couple electric poles. We could probably get away with using coal mainly for all of our things, but I'm gonna try using the steam engine. We're gonna need some belts. We're gonna need some underground belts. And we're gonna probably need some coal. Everything that's excess will be resold back to the market at the same price. So if I overbuy something, it's not a waste. So like it'll be as if I had never bought it. Alright. So I think we're good here. Let's get started. Oh, we need a pump. Pump and a couple pipes. So again, my strategy here is going to be building on top of the coal patch. And I'm going to mostly buy whatever coal we need for this, because we're only going for 10 minutes, and a furnace will only use, say, like 20 total in 10 minutes, 20 coal. So it'll save me money in the long run if I mined it, but at the same time, I'm not losing too much by buying it. Coal is 5 each. So, you know, that's just a couple gear wheels, and it'll be paid back. Okay, so I think here would be the best. We can put down our boiler. We'll get an electric mining drill right here, and that'll feed right into our boiler. And all of this is basically right on top of the coal, so it's not technically costing me anything, you know, as if I had put it over here, for example. We do need to get some water over here, so we're gonna have to spend some money for that. But not too bad. See if I can bring this down a little bit. There we go. So now we have our boiler. It has water. The water's not actually pumping right now. Likewise, I'm not actually getting any electricity right now. That only happens when I press start. When I press start, everything will turn on, basically. So I'll get the pump will bring down water, it'll get into the boiler, and then it'll start boiling the coal that's in there, and it'll make electricity, and so on and so forth. We'll have to wait. There's an initial waiting period while you get that all set up. So that does cost a little bit of time, but it's not that much. So we have our electricity set up. I did buy 2 steam engines, but one should be fine. We're not going to be using up much here. Let's get some mining done. And here's where I run into issues, because I don't know my ratios very well. And we're working with micro setups here, so the ratios do matter in terms of how efficient you are with what you're mining and how efficient you are with getting the product out of what you're mining. So I could set something up like this, and this works, but then I'm kind of losing out on some iron that I could be mining and putting into other furnaces. I believe you can probably get around 2 furnaces per. So let's see if we can try that. I'll definitely have to move these down though. So from there, I'm just going to input these, and these will go into furnaces. Again, what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to get the most I can onto the ore itself, because that will cost me less money than had I put them, for example, over here, you know, because at the end of this, I'm going to be putting all the walls back, and you can see I'm getting money for doing that. But I can't put walls onto the ore, so that's what I'm doing. We're gonna need an assembly machine, or 2 or 3 or 4. I think best bet here would be to input directly into them. So this is where we might want to consider actually moving the belt and putting it over here, because you can see we have more ore here and it's closer to the output chest. I cannot move the output chest out of here, so I can't like change the location of it. So it's better to get what you need closer to it. So I think that's probably, oh, we need to smelt the ore. So then here you can see we're getting some janky setups here. And we'll see if this works or not. Hey Charizard, how's it going? Haven't seen you in a while. Okay, so we're gonna need a couple more inserters. Luckily we can put them both on that corner there. Got this, and we'll insert it directly on there if possible. Now we'll do that. Alright, so this is going to be our preliminary thing. I'm not going to put a chest here because that would be a waste of money. So we're just going to do this and see how this goes. You're moving? Well, that's fun. Moving itself is a pain, but you know, the new area would be nice. Been for any particular reason, or you just felt like you had to get out of where you're going before? Alright, so I'm just going to refill this up, and then we can take a stock of how we're doing. We might not be getting enough money for this, but maybe we might. And that would be the best case scenario for us, you know? Easy level 1, that'd be great. But I suspect that this is probably not enough. But we'll find out. We'll see how far we are away, and then that can give us an idea of what we're gonna need. I forgot to actually put power on everything. There we go. Continue putting our walls down. I do not want a wall there, because I need to put the this thing, the gear wheel there. Alright, so let's start her up and see how we go. Oop. We forgot to actually load our stone furnaces with coal. So what I want to do is figure out how much coal is going to be used within the time period. I'm going to guess around 14. So we can check it around here. I'm actually going to put more than I think, so we can get a better accurate measure. So 18, start, let's go. And we can speed this process up quite a bit. Oh. We actually ran out of energy. It appears I am not powering my miner here, so that could be why. Let's try to put this a little bit closer, and that way we can get everything there. There we go. Let's try this again. I do have an initial 5, which should last enough for this to get online. So we're going to try that. Again, we're just looking at this one right here, just to see how many coal we use in 10 minutes. So we started out with 18 and we have 14 left, so it looks like we can get away with 14. Yep. So we'll just put 14 coal in each. We might want to consider putting 15 in the closer ones. This is the furthest one away, so it's going to be making the least amount of iron. So we might want to put 15 in here just for safety. It's only 5 money, so you know, it's not too much. And we'll just keep an eye and make sure that these guys don't run out of fuel. Okay, so let's start her up and see how we do. Everything seems to be working fine. We're gonna slow her down near the end so we can take stock of what's happening. These guys still have coal. So it looks like these 2 miners are actually not enough to satisfy 4 furnaces, which is very interesting. I had not... You would think that these would work. These would do 2 each. But I guess that is not correct. So we could save some money getting rid of this guy. But as you can see, we're not going to make the required balance. So we might want to actually add another miner. Alright, so we're 1.5k away. We started off with negative 2k, so we made 3.5k, I guess. Alright, so let's see what happens when I add another miner. Fortunately, we can get most of it onto the ore here, so we're not actually paying too much extra for it. And in reality, it's not too much. It's like 50 extra, but we're just checking, seeing how everything flows. So now we have a backup. So we might want to even add more furnaces. But let's see how we're doing. We're a lot closer. We're at 2,000. We're only 1,000 away, and we still have 30 seconds to go. Doesn't look like there's any backup on the plates in the furnaces. I can't actually click on the furnaces during this time, so that's a little unfortunate. I can't like see the progress of the smelting, but as you can see, there's nothing actually in there, so that's okay. This guy appears to be out of coal. He's still running, so that's fine. So we're missing 800 gold for this. So how are we going to fix this? We need to fix this. Basically, we're not making enough of these, the gear wheels. So, and we do have plenty of iron on the line here. So what we could do is add another iron furnace. Let's just have a little bit of upkeep, not upkeep, but principal cost here. And some tutorials, but we'll see how this goes. So we'll add 15 in there. So now we might want to consider putting this guy down here. Because how else am I going to transfer this plate that's here? Where else could I put a plate? Do I have access to splitters? I don't have access to splitters. So another setup we could do, instead of putting it directly into the assembly machine, we could put them on a belt and have a line of assembly machines. That's another possibility here. Because I think we're going to need one more assembly machine for this to work out properly, because based on what we were seeing, we weren't actually having any backup on these guys. So they were working fine, but if I added another iron plate to it, it probably would be too much. So if that's the case, we might actually want to add 2 more furnaces, because we know that 2 furnaces kind of keeps up with the demand here. But if I add another furnace, we also know that's not going to be enough for just the 3 here to saturate. So That's just something we have to think about. But we're gonna try just adding one more assembly machine to this, and we'll see how this goes. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to output this onto a belt, and then bring that belt down. And from there we can do something like this. But the issue here is that, you know, if I have another assembly machine here, how is that going to input into this chest? So we're gonna have to think about this a little bit more. What we could do is bring this miner up to here, have all of our smelting done here, and then just bring the belts down with the plates. I think that's a little bit cleaner than what we have currently. I like what we had before, but now that we're having to add more things to it, I think this is a better plan. So that's what we're gonna do. Again, I could insert these directly into the furnaces. However, it just, I think we're going to be mining more than we need. So let's see. I'm gonna actually bring this back. It doesn't cost us anything other than one more belt. But if we do something like this, then we can still get this guy in here. Alright, let's make sure everything is powered. And then from there, we can input into our... We can input into an assembly machine, or we could input onto a belt, and then input into the assembly machines over here. And that's what I want to try to do. We'll see if this works. If not, I mean, we can try the other way as well. It's not, you know, it's not a big deal. It's a lot of trial and error, which I particularly like. It's, you know, just optimizing what you have and seeing if you can make it better. And I like how that works. So let's do this. I'm gonna bring this actually a little bit farther away. And then we want to add a third one if possible. What we could do is we could I don't actually know if you can use an inserter to switch inputs in between the two. I kind of want to try that, but how would that help me? Let's see. It wouldn't help me because I can't input this in such a way where I could save room. So fortunately, we don't actually have room here either. What I'm trying to do here is move this guy a little bit down the line. We'll get a little bit more space here. We'll have to output it, but hopefully this will be worth the output. So what is the price differential between these two? 20 versus 5. So that means we need to have to use 12 or 4 belts. Or excuse me, we have to use less than 4 belts for this to be worth it. More than 4 belts. 4 belts or more. Hang on, give me a second. What is this? What is this length? Basically, we need to use the max length for this to break even. And we'll make a little bit of profit back by filling this in. So let's say 3 at the most. That's going to be our guideline. So we might actually be able to do that here. 2. Make me a liar, but let's try it out. As long as these 2 spots are worth more than 5, it's worth it. There we go. So get a long-handed inserter. Are these worth the same? They're worth more. That's not gonna work, huh? Okay, so we can't do that. Alright, so you know what? Scrap the underground belt idea. Because we need to do this. There we go. So now we're going to fill in the walls. Everything should be good to go again. We're going to need to add the coal again as well. So we'll see how this goes. Oops. There we go. Okay, I just opened the wrong one. There we go. 13. We'll put 14 in each. We'll put 15 in the closer ones. Although these should... Actually, this is the closer one. We'll try 14, and we'll see if any of them run out. Every money counts until it doesn't. So, try it out. We'll just see how far this gets us. Oh, we do not have power. Okay, so we're gonna need a pole here. Whoops. So one thing that they changed between the last patch and this patch is that now during when you're not started, you can't actually see what doesn't have power and what has power, which is a little bit of annoying. But at the same time, it was annoying to see the flashing lights all the time, so I don't know which I prefer. I think seeing what didn't have power was more helpful. But it is what it is. Let's see, let's make sure that everything is good now. Okay, these guys don't have power. So it looks like we're gonna have to take that away. Take that away. Do you have power? Yes, you can tell by the giant blue thing that I have been ignoring. Okay, so do you have power? This guy doesn't have power. So let's see. Let's see if we can use our underground belts to our advantage here. That should save us a little bit of money. There we go. Then we can put an underground, one of these right there. Alright. So everything has power now. I think we're good to go. Let's dust her out. Speed her up. This guy is not getting ore. Okay, so it looks like we're gonna need to move this guy over one. And it looks like we're actually doing a lot worse than we were doing before, but I think that's because this guy's not working. So we're gonna move this over. So now we have 1 supplying 2, and then 2 supplying 3. So, we might actually want to get another furnace in here. So we're kind of a little more than halfway. So it looks like you can see that this one's always working, this one's always working, that one's always working, mostly, basically. These two are not. So that's fine. I prefer that, you know. That means that we're basically working with everything that we can. Although this is we have a little bit of build up here, which is unfortunate, but that's fine, you know. So I'm pretty pleased with this setup so far. Let's see how everything else is going. It looks like these guys are getting bars most of the time. This guy's definitely getting bars. He's first in line, so for sure he's getting bars. So this is 64 products versus 115 versus 166. So that's something to note. They're not being evenly distributed, even closely, remotely. And we did make less money than we did in our last setup. Alright, so next idea would be to put these guys over here. The only thing that would be changing in this case, well, a lot of things should be changing, but the main thing that would be changing is the space I'm using. So let's see if we can finagle something on this side here. We do have space for this. Something like that, you can see. Works rather well. Problem here is that how are we going to output? We can move this guy down, and we can get a belt down and around. We could also move the engine down one, so we have more space to work with. That's also a possibility. As this is, we can put this like this, but that's not very helpful, right? We'd have to put a belt coming down this way. You know what? Let's try it out. Let's see if this works. Very, very unlikely, but you know, you never know. Okay, so let's... Fortunate thing here is that this guy is not getting electricity. And I can't put it here because I need belts here. Alright, well we'll just see. We'll need to also finagle this. We need space for an inserter. Do inputs to there. Looks like we got it. Alright. Could also put one here. That's definitely worth it. There we go. Okay, and then we'll fill these guys in and see how this goes. How much are belts? 5 each. So this, I could save some money with this, but oh no, I couldn't. I still need that. We'll see. This guy's gonna be working half the efficiency than the rest of them, but we'll have to find out how bad it is. See, these are 2 and 3 each, so it's not as worth it as I was thinking. Oh, you also need to put the inserter. And that needs to be powered, huh? Unless it's already powered? Nope. Okay, we got 2 money back. Worth it. Oh. Well, that's fine. Doesn't cost us money other than the pull itself, so that's not ideal, but okay, that's fine. So how are we doing this time? Definitely not going to meet our goal. I should probably be paying attention to the numbers that we're getting. But this time we're getting 1874. We're at 1k away. I think our best was 800 away. So what I think needs to happen is definitely need to probably add another furnace. That will help. As you can see, we do have a little bit of leeway here. So I'm going to try that. Then with the extra furnace, we can get more output into our assembly machines. And as you can see, this is getting more expensive the way that we currently have it. We might have to change how we have our miners set up, because honestly, we are not going to be mining 2.2k, 3k, 4k. It doesn't really matter as long as it's touching any part of this. We'll have enough iron ore for the 10 minutes. Again, we want it to have it mostly on the ore because that'll save us money in the long run, or in the initially. But if we have to do it awkwardly, then it might not be worth it. So these are things we should be thinking about. I'm gonna try this. You can tell that this real estate over here is very expensive. 13, 14 each. So it's a little iffy on whether we want to do this or not, but you know, we should try. We got things to try, so why not try it? Only issue here is that I actually cannot output it. Because if we have it like this, then we'll need to output it somewhere. This is a building, and you can't have an inserter on top of it. You can see, and so that means we'll have to go around, which costs more money, and not something we like. So the thing I'm going to do is I'm going to actually put these vertically instead of horizontally, and we'll see how that goes. We're just going to take everything out just to get a little bit of a better idea of what's going on. Okay, so we need to fit these guys down here. We have that. And like that. And then now we have a set here that we can work with. And all we have to do is this, and now all of this is being output here. So from here on, we can actually get a little bit more value by putting the furnaces here. The only issue here is that we don't have enough space for all of our furnaces. So we have to, consider what we're doing here. What we should do is we should figure out the ratio. I think it's 1 to 2, but let's test her out. So that's something we can try and see if it works or not. And we don't have to try to be optimal or anything. We just need to make sure that we have a good input-output system going. Fortunately, I don't have any chests to work with, so I'm just gonna have to do something like this. Again, not trying to be optimal, I just want to make sure this works. So I need to input this somewhere, There we go, I got that. Another long-handed. Unfortunately, that doesn't work. Doesn't work either. Oh no. Alright, there we go. So we're just gonna see if this one guy can have both of these running at the same time. At all times. And we need to put the coal in. Make sure they get electricity. That would be helpful on all fronts. Oh. Helpful if that also had electricity. Okay, so it does definitely look to be 1 to 2, as you can see. This guy is being filled up at a pretty good rate, so I think I'm content with our findings there. So that means that we don't need the 4th miner. We can deal with 3 and get 6 furnaces. I think that worked out decently well. And do this. Oh. Well, our problem here is that furnaces take up way more space than I was thinking, so that is the issue we're gonna run into here. And get 5 that way. These top spaces are pretty expensive. I don't really want to use them if I don't have to. Let's figure out how much space costs here. So this is 4, 5, 6, 7, way more, way cheaper than the 16, 15 over here. So we're gonna change the direction of this pathway here, make it go down. And there we go, there's our 6. And this should be cheaper in the long run. So the only issue here is that if I put this here, then it'll take from that, and we don't want that. So there we go. issue gone. And it looks like everything's going to be good there. Now we have to just put into our assembly machines and we're good to go. All right. I'm trying to consider how to get this together, but I guess this is probably our best bet here, like that. Again, this real estate is a lot cheaper than up here, so I don't mind using it like this. Let's just fill in everything and see how far we can get. Again, we need to make sure we power up everything. But luckily, all of this is on the ore, so it's technically freer. This is not, though. And this is not. Okay. Let's check in to make sure that everything is powered. Looks like these guys are not. It's on the ore, so lucky us. All right, so let's just make sure that we got everything all walled up, so we're not wasting stuff. That noise is kind of misleading, but hey, all right. Nope. We need coal. I think we can get away with this instead. We're gonna have to pay for it, but better than having two of them there. Alright, so let's get our coal in here. We need... looking for 14 on each. Oops. All right. There we go. Everything has coal. Everything should be powered up. Let's see how we do. I think this is a lot better than we had before, so let's keep an eye on it. It does look like this guy is unable to pick up this ore though. Let's fix that. Hopefully that's better. Yeah, there we go. Okay. Speed her up. I think we did a lot better this round. Doesn't look like we're gonna get it though. Alright, so we're closer than we have been. We're 500 away. 552. So where can we save in costs? I think we've kind of our limit here with what we have. Um, Hang on, just thinking what we can do here. How much are the electric miners versus these? Oh, it's 50 versus 10. And let's say we used 14 per 10 minutes. So that's a difference of 70. So if we can save space by not using the electric miners, that'd be worth it. The problem here is that we need electricity, so we'd still need to set this up, and we're not. And this is not costing us anything. These don't cost us anything, so switching to pure coal will not work because we need electricity for the assembly machines. So we're gonna need to cut costs a different way. How else can we do this? We can save a little bit of money if we got rid of this stuff here, but it wouldn't be enough to make up the 550. So even if we could do it, which I don't think we could, it wouldn't be worth the trouble. What else do we have to work with? We have long-hand inserters, and that's pretty much it. So we should make sure that our one steam machine should be more than enough for everything. Yeah, we're still green on electricity, so that's not a problem there. So as we learned in our last the last time we did this, the answer is always more. So that would mean I would need to put a 4th miner, 2 more furnaces, and another assembly machine. And I do think that would work. Because we made up, what, 500 the last time we did that? The only issue is that we're going to be using up a lot more space up here. And you can see that this real estate is more expensive, for sure. All this is very expensive. In comparison to like over here, which is 5 each. So let's think if we can figure out a way to focus more around here. All of this is pretty cheap, and I'm not using it. This is also kind of cheap, so we're on the very edge. How much are these? 17 each. Can't really do anything about this. There's no underground pipes. So the only way I would fix this is by moving the boiler closer. But this is all on ore, I believe. There's the wall. Yeah, so I wouldn't really save that much anyways. And I am saving a good amount just having this here. So I don't think there's much I can do better here. At least not right now. Alright, so the idea here is that we're going to need to add another miner. Where are we going to do that? And where are we going to put the furnaces? We can't just add to the line here because our engine's in the way. We can't put this vertically as much as we would like because we'd have to pay more money. And while I did say that, it might be worth the small amount. I thought this was worth a little bit more than 10 and 13, so this was like 30. Let's see how much more we would have to use up if we did it this way. It actually fits like this. It's not bad. We would, let's see. You might want to consider just adding coal directly to this thing to start with. We started off with 5. We need a source of coal. So either we put 50 in here and hope that lasts 10 minutes, which I would doubt, or we have a burner mining drill, which is a little bit smaller than the electric mining drill. And that would give us a little bit more room to work with. Unfortunately, we can't finagle it in such a way where it would feed our boiler like this. So it would have to take up space that we would like for this stuff. But now that I say that, since we're committing to a vertical boiler, we can actually move this over. Again, this will take up a little bit more money. We wouldn't want to set it up here, but we can move it over to, say, here. This costs us money here, as you can see. But it's only like 70 total. So we'll test it out. Maybe in the long run it'll help us out. And that way we can get this boiler or this mining drill here. We might even be able to put this guy here. Nope. Well, technically we could. Because as long as we have this space here to put the belt, we could get outputs from an assembly machine through here. But I think that this might be better. But we can try. We'll just trial and error. That's the whole theme of this. So let's get the 4th miner down. We put it right here. We'll have to think of this wisdom later. I don't think this is ideal, but we'll see. We do know that 1 goes to 2, but if we have it like this, it'll be eaten up by the second one of each, because it's a very delicate ratio here. Because if you can see, while we killed it. Give me a second. Let me put this guy back up. So if we take a look here, this guy is not, it's not saturated 24/7. So the second one is very important. If we had another miner coming down here, it would snatch that up to keep as a buffer, like this one does. You can see that this one has 2 in at any one time, even though this one wasn't saturated. So if we put a miner right here, it just simply wouldn't work. It would get cut up here, and it wouldn't get down to 2 more furnaces that we put down here. So that would not work if I put a miner here. That means that we need a new setup once again for our mining. How are we going to do that? We'd like to keep our miners on top of the ore. That would save us money. And over here is pretty expensive, so, you know, as you can see, look at that, like a lot of money. So, and we can't stack it up because we'd run the same issue. We can't have it back to back. That would be the same issue. We need to have it so it's 1 feeding the 2. They don't necessarily have to be connected. It's probably better if they're not. But see, the issue is I can't put one down here, even though it fits. Never mind, I lied. I was gonna say I couldn't put one down here because there's no ore down here, but we got 50. And we mine at 0.5 per second. So that means 1 per second. Oh no, math. So we get 60 in a minute. No, we get math. Okay, 1 per second. 2 per second. We get 2 per second. So that this 50 is not going to last us for 10 minutes. So we could easily fix that by just moving it up. Now we got 1.5k and 555. I think that's acceptable. Let's try to min-max this. We want to make sure that we have the least amount off, or on, the least amount off the ore. So this would work. Well, let's see. We need to provide the ore to the furnaces, so we're probably gonna have to move the furnaces as well, but I think this is better. Is 465 going to be enough for 10 minutes? So okay, let's try to do the math. So it's 2 per second. That's 120 per minute times 10, which is 1.2. So this is actually not enough for 10 minutes. Does it really mine that much? Math, it's hard on stream. Pressured. I'm gonna pull out a calculator here. So we got 10 minutes. That is 600 seconds. And we mine 2 per second. Okay, so I did that right. It is 1,200. That seems very high, honestly. I'm starting to second guess myself, even though I just pulled out the calculator. Do we really mine 1,200 per mining drill in the real game? For 10 minutes? It seems very high. Either way, we can test it. We'll see if if this is correct. We can just have this guy set up and see if this runs out or not. It should run out around halfway through if we're correct. So let's try it out. So, am I misunderstanding the name, how this works? It says mining speed 0.5 per second. So it would half that actually. So it's 1 per second, not 2 per second. There we go. Okay, there's the math issue that I was having. So you actually get. How do you mine half an ore a second though? Wait. I don't understand these numbers. But as you can see, we tried it out and it did last the whole 10 minutes. So I'm not going to second guess this. We have overcome it by facts. We only used up 300 in the 10 minutes. So that makes a lot more sense. I don't know what the rate is supposed to be, because Okay, I'm gonna do the math again because I actually want to make sure I understand this. So it's 0.5 per second. So that's 1 per 2 seconds. So that is 30 per minute. And we have 10 minutes, so 300. Okay, there we go. I have moderately come back from my shame, although I'm still very embarrassed. So let's continue on now that we know that the 465 is good enough. We use 300 in a minute, in 10 minutes. So we'll be good to go here. Let's keep going. So now we need to rearrange this so that the furnaces get saturated properly. We're just going to pick up everything and rearrange it. We do want to keep this guy though. Alright. So we want to make sure that we have 2 inserters, 2 furnaces before the next one comes out. We want to make each of these their own unit. We don't want them to have them together. Because this is our balance here. So it looks like we're gonna have an issue. Because as you can see that this is not working out. Oops. This is going to be taking from there. And we don't want that. We want this guy to supply these 2. We want this guy to supply these 2. This guy to supply 2 more. That guy to supply 2 more. And if this one's going to be taking from this one, that's going to be taking away from the rest. We can still try it. Another thing we can do is, I noticed that last time if we had it feed it like this guy wouldn't pick up from here. So we might be able to do it this way and save ourselves. This doesn't actually cost us any money, I think. It costs us a little bit of money, but minimal. So we'll try that. And we still need to get 2 out of here. So unfortunately that's, again, not feasible. We'll have to do the same trick. Assuming it works at least. Wait. Okay, so we can't actually do that because we're walking a thin line here on how much iron we can get from this patch. So one thing we could do is turn the... Nope. No, can't do that. So I'm starting to think that we might actually want to just use a burner drill. Because the burner drills are smaller, and then we can orient this better. I don't actually know the difference between the mining speeds though, so we're gonna have to check that. So this is actually twice as slow. So we can't do that. If we did do that, we'd have to put 2 burner mining drills in the spot of 1 of these. Which might work. Give me a second. So if we did this, we'd be getting the same speed mining as these 2. and that would work out. Now that I'm actually thinking about it, we could also very easily just put it directly into a furnace, because these should be going at a similar rate based on our testing here. And that kind of makes me sad because this is significantly simpler than what I was doing, and I guess that would be par for the course. So what I want to do is I'm going to try this real quick just to see how this shakes out. If this does not work, and we're all now that I'm looking at it, we're actually going to run into a lot of issues like this, then you know we'll try the other method, which is probably way better. And again is making me very sad that I did not think of it before this. So if we did it like this, then we'd have to do some wonky thing like this to get what we want out of the mining drills. So this would be something that we would have to do, but we wouldn't get an output out of this. So this wouldn't even work. Alright, I'm ready to commit to our burner mining overlords. So I'm gonna keep this. But we're gonna buy... let's see how many we can muster here. So we got 5 there. Could actually probably get a couple more here. And then just do... nope. Just do this. Great. Even better, I can just do this. It's on the ore, so it doesn't actually cost us much. Alright, this is actually a lot simpler to set up, as expected. We have an odd number though, so I'm gonna get rid of that guy so we can actually do that and save us some money. And then we'll do that. So, put in there. Our issue here is going to be how do we output our chest from this guy. I think best bet would be this way. Alright, and that's that, basically. So this is the same as three mining drills, electric mining drills, and the same setup we had before. So let's see how much this improves our score. We were short 500 before, so let's see if this is any better. If that's the case, we can actually move this guy back and do this again. Because again, we're saving money, or we're not using up money by doing this. Just the small amount of pipes right there. Okay, and then we're going to have to power our electric mining drills, and then we'll turn her on. We are going to have to put in the coal, though. I have to remember about that. So that's going to be a cost to us. We'll have to see how much that ends up actually costing. There we go. Alright. So I'm hoping that everything is powered up here. To all those, and all those. Okay, good. So, let's do this again. So 14 in each. And I think I can get away with putting less in each of the burner mining drills. I think they might consume the coal at a slower rate. We'll have to check. Okay, so energy consumption is 150 kilowatts. I don't know what that means. How much energy does coal give you? 4 mega joules. I don't actually know the conversion rate, so that does not help me in the slightest. So we're just gonna do the timing. Wait, we can check. This is 90 kilowatts. Oh no, this is actually double the amount. Okay, so we're gonna have to put around 30 coal in each of these guys for them to work. So we'll do that. We'll put in 30 and then we can check how much it actually is afterwards. We just want to see how close we are to our goal with this. But this coal is actually pretty expensive. I had not considered them to be using this much, but they are using quite a bit. I don't think it's enough to warrant how much we save just by the space, so I do not think we are going to meet our goal with this. I guess around 1.5k we're short by. Oh, not even close. Not even close. Okay, so with that then, I'm just sad because we're kind of back at square one. Let's take a look at how these get saturated. Okay, there is not much downtime here. So these do work at pretty much the same speed, it looks like. Oh, no they don't. What? Why does this have 8? These guys have 0. Oh, that's why. Okay. I had not noticed this. That will change our issue significantly here. Okay, that's better. We're still not going to make it even close, but that is significantly better. And that's about where I was thinking that we were at. A little bit better than I thought, but... Right, we're at 1k left. So with the same setup that we had before with regular mining drills, electric mining drills, we have the same, with the equivalent mining setup, we were short 500. So this didn't actually save us any money, even though it's significantly simpler to set up. And then adding another set is not gonna do us any favors. I think it's going to decrease the price, or decrease what we have, our debt, but I don't think it's going to be enough to overcome the main issue, which is we're not making enough. So I think I'm going to go back to my idea of having 4 electric mining drills drilling down here. We're just going to have to be a little bit more creative with our furnaces. So I'm ready to say that hard mode is definitely harder than the medium mode. I think we've taken more time on this so far than we had on the last time, and that was when we didn't know what was going on. Or maybe I'm just not as smart as I was before. I don't know. Maybe that's very possible as well.